Welcome to DevOps Pilot. Today we'll see Shellscript part 3. Let's go to DevOps roadmap. Shellscript part 3. Today we'll see what is while loop. So while loop is also almost similar like the for loop. So this is one of the control flow statement which like we generally used to like we want to run some piece of code like repeatedly. So for that purpose, either we'll use like for loop or while loop. But the small difference is like when we run the for loop, right? It based on the like number of iterations. Like we specifically tell like how many times this for loop has to run. So we tell like give like 1 to 5. So this for loop is going to repeat this echo command 5 number of times. If we give 10 times, so it is going to repeat for 10 times. But the number count whatever we are giving is a fixed one. It's like a finite number. So it's not going to like dynamic number. It's a fixed number we are giving. So it's going to repeat that piece of code that specific number of times. But while loop is based on the condition specific. So if the condition is true, the while loop is keep on running. So if we are not making the conditions to false, right? So the while loop will continue to run. Maybe it will continue to run for infinite number of times also. So this is the syntax. So almost similar, like we have like while do done, and then instead of here defining the finite number, we will have any condition you can have. But finally, the condition should return either true or false. If the condition is true, it will. So it just goes inside and then it just runs the command. But once it turns this to false, it just come out of the while loop and it stops basically. So based on the condition, it continues to run or it will stop. So while loop continues to run when it is true and when it is false, it will stop and come out. Okay. We'll see some samples now. So here I'm creating one variable count equal to 1. And so here we are defining one condition. So if count equal to 1, so initially this dollar count rate will change to value 1. 1 lesser than 5, the condition is true, right? So basically this while loop accepts it, assumes the condition is true. It goes inside and runs this echo command. So the count value is, so first time the count value is 1. So it prints the count is 1. Actually, here it is wrong. Then it like goes count equal to, and then a dollar count plus 1. It increments and it stores the new value. Like current the dollar count is like 1, 1 plus 1, 2. It updates this variable. So the count equal to, it stores the value 2. It updates the value count equal to 2. Okay. So we'll see how actually this is also correct only. So when it enters first time, so it checks 1 less than 5. Yes, the condition is true. And it is going to print the count is 1. And then it is incrementing the value to 2. So it just updates this count equal to 2. So next time it comes to this while loop, right? So now the count value is 2. Now it checks 2 less than 5. Yes, the condition is true. So it goes inside the while loop. It is going to run these two commands. So first it runs the echo command. The count value is 2. And then now it is incrementing the count. The current count value is 2. 2 plus 1, 3. It just goes and update count equal to 3. So which is happening everything in the background. So we will not see everything in front. So it's just in a fraction of second, everything is going to happen in the background. It updates to 3. And then, so next time, once again, it comes. So now count value is 3, 3 less than 5. Yes, the condition is true. It goes inside, prints the count is 3, and then updates count equal to 3 plus 1, 4, and goes back and update count equal to 4. Now it checks 4 less than 5. Yes, the condition is true. And it just prints the count is 4. And now it increments 4 plus 1, 5, and it goes and update count equal to 5. So now this time it comes 5 less than 5. The condition is false. So now this time it will not go inside while loop. It just came out of the while loop. And if you have any other thing, it just proceeds. Apart from that, the while loop condition is ending here. So when it reaches the false condition, the while loop is stopped. So while 5 less than 5, so it becomes false and then comes out. So it's not like here we have to use lesser than or this logic. You can use any kind of condition, you can use it here, but finally it has to return either true or false. So based on that, your while condition can proceed and run multiple times, or either it can, maybe in the first time itself you're putting condition at false, it will not go inside itself, it just directly come out. Okay. Before going to the running some shell scripts. So we will some sample some conditional symbols. So here we have used one symbol called hyphen LT, right, which is the short form for less than. So we generally we use that left arrow symbol, right? So in generally we used to tell that as a less than. So, but here in shell script we have this special symbols like hyphen LT we have to pass, so which do the mathematical operations. So for that, we have some set of predefined symbols or syntax. So first thing is equal to equal to. So this equal to is to check whether the string is correct or not. So in general, we tell it is a word string. So any word, right, that we tell it as a string in generally in uh, programmatic way. So we can just check. So it just checks if your one word is equal to another word. So if you want to compare two specific word or string, we can use this equal to symbol. So example, so I just creating one variable called data equal to DevOps. And in the if condition, you can check whether this condition is like true or not. Dollar data equal to DevOps. So now dollar data will change to DevOps, then DevOps equal to DevOps. The condition is true. So in this case, it will go inside the if condition. And if you want to do anything, you can just proceed and do some run some commands. Similarly, we have some more thing like not equal to. In some case, if you want to check whether this string is not equal to this string, then I want to do some operation. So in that case, you can use this one. And hyphen EQ. So first two thing is only specific for strings or words, but other the down which are we are going to see, right, that is specifically for the numerical numbers. So hyphen EQ is to check whether the integer is equal to the integer two, whether equal or not, we want to check. So I'm just creating one variable integer one equal to 5, integer two equal to 5. In the if condition, you can check if the integer one is equal to integer two, then you can do some, it just goes inside the if condition and you can run some commands. Similarly, for greater than symbol, we have hyphen GT. For greater than or equal to, we have GE command, and less than. So LE is less than or equal to, and LT is less than. Actually, here it is wrong, so I will update. And finally, NE for not equal to. So sometimes if you want to check both the number is not equal to, then go inside and do some operation. So we have this kind of conditions we have. Okay. So now we just go and run the basic while loop, and we will see. So this one in the above diagram we have seen, right? So like count one, and it just goes on keep on increasing. It just going to four times the condition will be true, it will go inside, and fifth time the condition will false and it will come out. Okay. So I have already cloned the shell script GitHub repo. Let's go inside shell script folder and then tutorials and part 3. So today we are going to see 5 shell script. So let's see the first one. One wild sh. So we already discussed the content. So let's dot slash one hyphen wild dot sh enter. It's very quick, right? So it just checks the condition. It's true, 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 true. So it just go inside and prints the echo command 4 times. And fifth time the condition false, it just came out. Very, very straightforward, right? And we'll see the next one. Chat. So the same while loop, right? We can run it in a single line also. In some scenario, if you're either in shell script or maybe in some pipeline, if you want to do, in some scenario may come, you want to write this for loop or while loop in a single line. So actually, you can write the whole stuff in the single line also. The same thing, you have to like put it in single line. Why? And you put the condition. So since we are putting in this single line format, additionally, you have to put this semicolon also, and then you put the actual echo command. And to separate multiple commands, either you can use semicolon or you can use double ampersand. Okay. If you use single colon, if the first command fails, it just proceeds to the second command and just proceeds. But if you use ampersand symbol instead of here a semicolon, right? The first command fails, it will not proceed to the second command. So that flexibility we have with the ampersand. So for now, so we are just going to run two commands. So these are the two commands. So we are going to separate the two commands using the semicolon. So this is the first command, and then we use semicolon to separate, and then we pass second command, and then finally we are closing our while loop. Done. Using that, we are closing. So just same thing, but we are putting in a single line format. Let's execute. Dot slash 2 hyphen y single line dot sh. Enter. So just same output 1, 2, 3, 4. Now let's go to the third shell script. Cat 3 hyphen read a file dot sh. So now using the file loop, we are going to read a file line by line. So now if you want to read any file, right, some file, so we generally used to like see this file a lot of times. So slash etc os hyphen release. Let's cat the file slash etc os hyphen release. We already know inside we this file we have this content. So like which Oracle version and what is the operating system name, all these details we have it here. But you want to do some operation based on this line. So like if this line contain this specific word, I want to do some operation. So these kind of things, if you want to do, first you have to read this file line by line, so that when you get the first line, you can just check if some specific word is present in that line. Then I can do some if condition and I can do some check. And then I can get the second line and I can get the third line. Line by line, you can get using this while loop. We'll see how we can get it. So similar thing, so bin bash, and then so I'm creating one variable file name and just putting this slash etc os hyphen release. So same while loop syntax, but additionally what we are going to do, first in the end we have to pass this file name. So here it will be the slash etc os hyphen release. So when this while loop is going to run, it is going to read this file and it will pass one by one line to the while loop. So first it will pass the first line to the while loop. It just go and prints echo only the first line it will print. Then it repeats. Second line will be printed. Repeats third line, fourth line, fifth line, sixth line. It just prints each line one by one, and finally when reaches the last line, it stops while loop. So while loop will be stopped. And we are using one more command called read hyphen r line. So from here, it just passes one line as input to this read command, read hyphen r, and then we'll be putting that first whole line into this variable, line variable. So this is just, you can give any variable name. This is our use case only. So you can just put echo dollar line. So because now this line is having the first line in the file. So when it while loop runs, next this line will have the second line. So next third line. So every time if you print this line variable, you will get the first line, second line, third line, fourth line. You will be getting like that. Okay. Now let's run this one. Read a file.sh, you will see no difference. So you can see actually it like read the first line, it printed echo, and then it just prints the second line, and it prints the third line, and it prints the fourth line, fifth line, and till reaches the last line, it prints every content and just while loop came out of it. But how we can confirm whether exactly it printed line by line? We will do like small changes here. Vi. So I'm just doing an echo only, but this time what I will do, echo. So this is just for your understanding I'm doing, otherwise this is not required. So just separator. So first it prints your first line, then it will print this separator line. So then while you continues, it prints a second line, then once again it going to print this one. So between each lines, I'm going to print this additional stuff, but this stuff is not available in the shells actual file, the slash etc os release file. So I'm just customizing the output. Okay, let's see. 3 hyphen read a file dot sh. Here you can see, right? So now it prints the first line. And then since I have the second echo command, which I'm mentioning like separator, it prints. And then while loop continues, it prints the second line. And the separator echo command prints. And the while loop continues, third line. And it prints the separator echo command. So it just proceeds and it just goes to the end and it finishes and it came out of the while loop. So this is what happened. Okay. Hope it's clear. So now let's go to the fourth shell script. So read and write the to a different files. So same thing. So in this shell script also we are going to read a file, but we are getting one by one line, right? So we will check for some specific keyword. If that word is present, we will take that content and we will write it to a separate file. So this is some real-time scenario you can think. This might uh, needed in some scenario. Okay. So before that, I'm going to show something. So we already know something like a daemon process or background process. So in this Linux server, I am having some application call, which is HTTPD, which is a web server. We will discuss definitely later. So currently, this is one of the Linux service application which is running in the background. So to check whether this service is running or not, we already know systemctl status, and you can give the service name HTTPD, enter. So currently it's showing this service is dead, which is not running. So let's start this one. Start. Now check. So now this is running. Okay. Okay. All good. This is running. This application creates some log file. So every time, actually, you can access this from browser also. So currently, I'm not going to do that one, but it has already created some log information in some file. So it stores that log file in slash. Actually, it needs sudo permission. Let me change to root user slash var. So mostly any services, it stores your log files in this specific folder slash var slash log, and then you will have this list of services. But in our case, our service name is HTTPD, where it is. Yeah, so this is the our service name. So it automatically creates that folder HTTPD, and inside this, it is creating a lot of some files, actually log files. So access files. When somebody is trying to access this application, right? So like who is trying to like accessing this application, whether they access this web server from your mobile phone or from laptop. So those details is try to write it to this log file. And similarly, if you face any error, so it will write to this error log file. So we'll see what exactly inside this access log file. Cat access log. Okay. So it's little bit some, it has some 20 to 30 lines it has currently. So it just shows from this IP address, somebody tried to open this application, and then it was opened from Mozilla Firefox, and then it is a Linux machine. And some tools like it's open from Windows machine, and some tools, some log shows it's open from Android mobile phone, which is Android 10 version mobile phone. So we see three kind of category, right? So now from this log file, I want to segregate the details. Like I want to create one file called Android log file. So that should capture all the logs from this. Only take the Android. So this whole specific single line, this is the full single line. So this is having the details about the Android, which somebody tried access from the Android mobile phone. So similarly, this is for Windows. Somebody try to access this application from the Windows machine. So Windows laptop or desktop, somebody try to access from the specific operating system. So I want to just segregate. So Windows and a mobile phone, I want to segregate and I want to do some analysis. So for that, how can I do it? Okay. So for that, so for now, easily in the case you can think like cat, and if you give this file name, and then we can do like pipe grep and then you can give Android. It is going to give me only the like the lines which is having only Android. So similarly, if you put like Windows, you will going to get only the lines which is having the Windows keyword. So this is straightforward, we know, but we do this using the shell script way. So let's open the file cat. Sorry, let's go to home directory shell script. Let me come out of the root user. Now I'm an OPC user. CD shell script. Let me clear the screen. CD shell script tutorials part 3. Okay, cat 4. So first I'm creating one variable called source file name. So my source file will be this one, like var log httpd access log. So this is a collection of all the logs. So I want to create 3 log files. One is android.log file, so which should have like whoever is trying to access from the mobile phone. And another is like windows.log file, whoever is trying to access from the Windows operating system. And maybe some other things, some Linux or from Apple iPhone. So all other details will be stored to this others.log file. So my logic is what simple. If the line contains Android keyword, it is going to put it into android.log file. If it is having Windows keyword, it is going to write it to this windows.log file. Okay, so I will just go through the script once again. So first we are defining the variable and putting our source, which file we collect the full log file, so which is having the full content, and target folder. So when we run this one, it is going to create one folder. That folder will have the folder name itself this format. So the folder name itself, your month, day, year, hyphen, hours, minutes, and seconds. Your folder name will be in this format. Okay, and I'm just storing this into a variable, and then I'm running mkdir command and passing the variable name. So the folder will be created, and this is our final while loop. Same thing. So we are just passing our source file name and then read hyphen r line. So now this will read the first line from the file, right? So it now we are having some if condition. We are having two if condition here. So if the line equal to actually we are putting this star star. So in that line, if it is having this Android word or small Android word, then echo write that line, don't print, but instead of that I'm using this double arrow so that that specific line will be returned to this target folder, and then it will create this android.log file and it will store it. So we have already seen, so double arrow we are using, which means it's going to append, it's not going to override. So this is very important. And similarly, if Android keyword is not there, else if, so we are going to check one more time. So in the same line, if it whether it is having Windows keyword, if it is having, it is going to write it in windows.log file. Even Windows keyword is not there, then it will go to the else case. And it just we are not going to check any condition here because we want to check only two case. So both condition are not satisfied, and finally just goes and store it to the others.log file. So this is the simple logic we have written. Now, when we return this, we'll see the output, how it looks. Currently, we have this file. So here only it's going to create one folder and it's going to create those 3 files. Okay. /4. So when we run this one, it tells permission denied because the shell script is trying to read this log file, which is owned by the root user. So my OPC user doesn't have permission to access that file. So it will not able to access. So before that, let me clean this one. So it has created. Okay, so we have only these 5 files now. So I will run with sudo so that it can able to read that httpd log file /4. Run. So it has successfully executed. Now if you do ll command and see, now it has created this folder. So as per our format, so it should have like 05, the month, and the day is 13 and year is 2023, and then the time the timestamp. Okay, let's go inside the folder. So here it has created 3 files: Android, others, and Windows.log file. Let me clear my screen, and then so now we have these 3 files. Let's open one by one file. I'm just opening only the Android.log file. So it is having only the Android, like who is trying to access from this Android. So somebody from this specific IP address, so they try to access this application, HTTPD application from this Android mobile phone. Similarly, if we can open Windows, be able to see. So all the Windows details separated into this windows.log file. And finally, we have the others.log file. In the others.log file, so it is having some data like Linux. So somebody from other machines, it just captures. So even from some Mac, simple. So just captures all those details. So this is just a small idea I'm giving. So using this logic, you can like do like based on your real-time requirement, you can do a lot of stuff. So this helps. Let me go back. Minus. Let me delete it. Okay, done. So now the last one. Can find. So now we will see what is infinite loop. So we already discussed when the condition is true, the loop is going to run, just keep on running. So it's not going to end. So sometimes we don't want to like we want to straightforward define the condition as true. Like we will not have some logic and all. We straight away write this keyword, like hard coding this keyword true. In this case, while loop thinks the true, it will keep on running. It is never going to stop, right? So because the condition is true, it's hard coded. Nobody can go and update this value since it's hard coded. So now in this case, how we can like break the while loop. So inside you have to write some if condition, and this if condition will have one condition, right? So maybe if this condition is false, right, loop continues to run. So if this if condition is false, it will not go inside. Okay, it will not go inside, just comes out, and while loop continues, condition if condition is false, just keep on running. So but in some scenario, like you do some operation and this condition becomes true. In that case, it just goes inside and you can run this command. So Linux command. So when you run this break command, which means you're telling I want to break this while loop. So come when we run this one, it just breaks this while loop and it just comes out of the while loop. Okay. The condition when this becomes true, it runs the break command and comes out of the while loop. So this is summary. Same real-time scenario, like whenever if you want to check for some specific process which is like keep on running, and based on some scenario you will make the condition to true and you will break it. So here I will now try to simulate one small scenario and then we will see. Yeah. Okay. So now yeah, so already, okay, we can find it quickly, see the shell script. So what it is going to do is, so I'm just given hard coded as true. This while loop is going to repeatedly run. So it's just going to run this command systemctl status httpd. Just now we have seen, right? If this httpd service is running, okay, if it is running, it will return status code as 0. Okay, so it will store echo dollar question mark, the status code it will store to this one 0, which means the HTTPD status it will come 0. It is running, no issue. Okay, and then if condition, if HTTP status not equal to 0. So if it is basically this shell script is to track whether this HTTPD application is running fine or not. If suppose this application is stopped, immediately it just prints this echo command to my screen. Maybe here you can do some send email to some team also. Maybe if suppose sometime this HTTP application stops it, so that here you can have some logic to send a mail to some Outlook or Gmail. You can send a mail also, but in our case, just we are just doing echo command. Once this HTTP application stops, it immediately uh, prints this one, and even for now I'm just going to break. In some scenario we don't want to break, this will keep on running, and based on this condition it just updates or send a mail. That will be the real time scenario. So let's quickly run this one, I will show what. So when we run this one, means status httpd echo dollar question mark. Okay, echo is, so it is not running. Okay, so this is the last status. So that's why it is showing command not found. And this should be fine now. Okay, and then echo. So it is showing 0. Okay, it is running fine actually. maybe I could use sudo systemctl status httpd. Okay, so it is running fine. Okay, so now I will split my screen into two. So basically, I have opened two terminal. This is first terminal and this is second terminal. So let's clear this screen also. Clear. Okay. Uh, what I will do, I will bring this tab into down. So I will have two tabs in the same screen. So this is my first tab. Both are same server, but I am just into two tabs. So here I will quickly check sudo systemctl status httpd. Okay, it is running fine. Okay, as of now. Okay, clear. But I'm going to stop this one. Look, as of now, I did it stop. I'm just typing it and keep it ready. I will run this command. Py break infinite loop.sh. Enter. So currently HTTP service is running, so it is printing 000 and then it's keep on running. But once I in the second window I just enter, I'm stopping the HTTPD. So when I kill the HTTPD process, because this is dynamic, right? It's keep on checking in the background. So it checks the status code is changing to 3. So because the application is stopped, right? So it runs the echo dollar question mark command and checks the status code is 3 and it goes to the if condition and the condition is true. Now it goes and run the break command and it prints this one. HTTP application is stopped. So this is like you can just this is a small scenario I just showed you. Like using this, you can do some real-time activities also. So now here we can just verify status HTTP. Here you can see it is stopped. Okay, so it is dead. So since we have stopped, so it has changed the status code to 3 and it went inside the if condition. So we quickly see this. Here you can see. So once this changes to 3, so it changes like this status code will be 3. 3 not equal to 0. Yes, the condition is true. It goes inside and prints this echo command and it runs the break command and then the while loop is stopped. Okay. Hope the session is helpful. Thank you.